In a world driven by social validation and external approval, it's easy to become caught in the relentless pursuit of recognition from others. You may find yourself constantly seeking validation from your peers, family, colleagues, or even strangers, believing that their approval defines your worth. But this pursuit is a fleeting illusion, a temporary high that vanishes as quickly as it appears, leaving you chasing an ever-elusive sense of acceptance. The truth is, approval from others is transient. It is a fleeting moment, a temporary affirmation that can be taken away in an instant. Meanwhile, your intrinsic value, your self-worth, your core identity remains steadfast and enduring. Recognizing this difference is crucial for mental resilience, emotional stability, and genuine fulfillment. It's essential to understand that external validation is a fragile foundation, one built on the opinions and perceptions of others, which are constantly shifting and often unpredictable. In contrast, your true self is immutable, resilient, and capable of sustaining confidence, independent of external approval. To truly thrive, you must develop an awareness that approval is fleeting, because it is rooted in external factors that are beyond your control. The praise of others can be withdrawn, the applause can cease, and the admiration can fade. Yet your intrinsic worth remains unchanged by these transient judgments. When you internalize this truth, you begin to detach your self-esteem from external validation and anchor it in your internal compass. This shift in perspective empowers you to act authentically, to pursue your passions without fear of disapproval, and to accept yourself unconditionally. It's a liberating realization that frees you from the endless cycle of seeking validation, which often leads to anxiety, insecurity, and self-doubt. Instead, you embrace a mindset rooted in self-acceptance and resilience, recognizing that your worth is inherent, not contingent on external opinions. The desire for approval is deeply ingrained in human nature. From the moment you are born, you seek acceptance from your caregivers, and this need for social acceptance continues throughout your life. Evolutionarily, approval from others once meant survival. Being part of a group increased your chances of safety and success. However, in modern society, this instinct often becomes distorted into a compulsive craving for recognition, praise, or approval that can overshadow your authentic self. You might find yourself altering your behavior, opinions, or even your identity to fit in, to be liked, or to avoid rejection. While social harmony and connection are vital, sacrificing your authenticity for fleeting approval can lead to emotional exhaustion and a loss of identity. When you prioritize external validation, you place your happiness in the hands of others, making your emotional well-being dependent on their opinions. This dependency creates a fragile emotional state. Your mood swings with the changing tides of others' perceptions. You might experience euphoria when praised, but despair when ignored or criticized. The pursuit of approval becomes a roller coaster ride, and over time, it can erode your self-esteem and sense of stability. To break free from this cycle, you must cultivate awareness that approval is fleeting because it is based on external factors that are beyond your control. The compliments and criticisms of others are temporary. They come and go, influenced by their moods, biases, and circumstances. Recognizing this helps you develop a thicker skin, an internal sense of self-worth that remains resilient regardless of external opinions. Developing this resilience begins with understanding that your value does not depend on external validation. It is an intrinsic attribute, something you carry within yourself, rooted in your character, your integrity, your passions, and your values. When you accept this, you free yourself from the need for constant approval. Instead of seeking validation, you focus on self-approval. You learn to recognize your own worth based on your actions, intentions, and alignment with your core values. Self-approval is a powerful concept because it is internal, stable, and enduring. It provides a foundation of confidence that isn't shaken by external circumstances. When you act in accordance with your authentic self, you experience a deep sense of fulfillment and peace, regardless of whether others acknowledge your efforts. This internal validation becomes an anchor, grounding you in your truth and allowing you to navigate life's challenges with resilience. One of the most effective ways to cultivate this internal sense of worth is through practicing self-awareness and self-compassion. When you become aware of your thoughts, feelings, and motivations, you gain insight into your true self. Self-awareness helps you identify when you're seeking external approval and understand the underlying fears or insecurities driving that desire. Another critical aspect of understanding that approval is fleeting is recognizing the nature of social dynamics. Human approval is often based on superficial judgments, societal expectations, or fleeting trends. What is admired today may be criticized tomorrow, and what is popular now may be irrelevant in the future. You cannot rely on external approval as a stable measure of your value because it is inherently unstable. Instead, focus on cultivating your own standards and values. Define what success, integrity, and happiness mean to you, independent of others' opinions. When your actions align with your personal values, you create a sense of authenticity and integrity that cannot be easily undermined. This internal alignment provides a more reliable and lasting source of fulfillment than external approval ever could. You must also confront the fears that underlie your craving for approval. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of judgment. These fears often drive you to seek validation. When you understand that these fears are rooted in insecurities and misconceptions, you can begin to challenge and reframe them. Recognize that rejection is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of life and growth. Failure is an opportunity to learn and improve, not a testament to your inadequacy. Judgment from others is inherently subjective and often biased. By reframing these fears, you diminish their power over you and reduce your dependence on external validation. Building confidence in yourself and your abilities helps you stand firm in your authenticity, regardless of others' opinions. Practicing mindfulness and presence can further reinforce your understanding that approval is fleeting. When you are fully present in the moment, you become less preoccupied with how others perceive you. Mindfulness teaches you to observe your thoughts and feelings without attachment or judgment. This awareness enables you to notice when you are seeking approval and gently redirect your focus toward your internal experiences and values. As you cultivate presence, you become more resilient to external fluctuations, anchoring yourself in a steady sense of self that isn't swayed by fleeting opinions. This practice also enhances your ability to enjoy and appreciate your achievements internally, rather than relying on external acknowledgement for validation. Setting healthy boundaries is another essential aspect of this journey. When you recognize that approval is fleeting, you understand the importance of protecting your emotional well-being by limiting exposure to toxic or manipulative relationships. Not everyone's opinion is worth your emotional investment, especially if it undermines your self-esteem or authenticity. By establishing boundaries, you create a safe space for your growth and self-acceptance. This includes distancing yourself from people who constantly seek to diminish your self-worth or impose their standards on you. Instead, surround yourself with those who support your authenticity and encourage your personal development. These relationships serve as a foundation for internal confidence rather than external validation. You also need to accept that setbacks and criticisms are inevitable parts of life. No matter how confident you are, there will be times when you face rejection or disapproval. Instead of viewing these as failures or threats, see them as opportunities for growth. Understand that everyone experiences rejection, and it doesn't diminish your intrinsic worth. Use these moments to learn, reflect, and refine your character. Each challenge you encounter can strengthen your resilience and deepen your self-awareness. Over time, this perspective helps you develop a thicker skin and a more profound sense of self that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. Building a sense of purpose and meaning in your life can also help diminish the importance of external approval. When you are engaged in pursuits that align with your passions and values, your sense of fulfillment comes from within. Your purpose becomes a guiding light that sustains you through external fluctuations. Whether it's your career, creative endeavors, volunteer work, or personal relationships, investing in what truly matters to you cultivates internal satisfaction that no external approval can match. This internal fulfillment acts as a buffer against the fleeting nature of external validation, reinforcing your self-worth from within. A critical step in this process is learning to celebrate your progress and achievements internally. Instead of waiting for external recognition, acknowledge your efforts, growth, and successes privately. Keep a journal of your accomplishments, reflect on your journey, and remind yourself of your strengths and resilience. This habit fosters a deep sense of self-appreciation that is independent of external praise. Over time, it rewires your mindset to find satisfaction in your internal validation rather than external acknowledgement. This practice enhances your confidence, provides motivation, and nurtures your self-esteem, reinforcing the understanding that your worth is inherent and enduring. It's also important to practice humility and gratitude. When you recognize that external approval is fleeting, you become more appreciative of the present moment and the internal qualities that define you. Gratitude for your strengths, opportunities, and growth fosters a positive outlook and diminishes the need for external validation. Humility allows you to accept praise graciously without becoming dependent on it, and to handle criticism constructively without allowing it to define your self-worth. These qualities help you maintain a balanced perspective, knowing that your value is not determined by external factors, but by your internal sense of integrity and authenticity. In embracing the truth that approval is fleeting, you realize that your journey towards self-acceptance is ongoing. It requires consistent effort, mindfulness, and a willingness to confront your fears and insecurities. You will encounter moments of doubt and vulnerability, but each challenge is an opportunity to reaffirm your internal worth. As you develop resilience and self-awareness, external validation becomes less critical, and your confidence grows from within. You learn to stand firm in your truth, to act authentically, and to celebrate your unique path. This internal strength not only shields you from the instability of external approval, but also enables you to inspire others by exemplifying authentic living. Your genuine confidence becomes a beacon for those around you, demonstrating that true worth is built from within and is unwavering despite the fleeting nature of external recognition. Ultimately, the realization that approval is fleeting and you are not is a profound act of self-liberation. It frees you from the endless cycle of seeking validation, allowing you to live with integrity, purpose, and peace. Your worth is inherent, unchangeable, and independent of external circumstances. By cultivating self-awareness, practicing self-compassion, setting boundaries, and aligning with your core values, you build a resilient sense of self that remains steadfast through life's inevitable ups and downs. This inner stability empowers you to navigate the world with confidence, authenticity, and grace, knowing that your true value resides within you, an enduring truth that no external approval can ever diminish. Embracing this perspective transforms your relationship with yourself and others, fostering genuine happiness, freedom, and fulfillment that are rooted in your authentic self.